All right, y'all. We're gonna be having a conversation. Well, not y'all, me. I'm so used to talking on stream or recording something. Ooh, we gonna be talking to this young man here by the name of Mild for InControl. This is who I'm talking to today. Oop. This is who I'm talking to for InControl. All right. Let's see. Turn it up. Alrighty.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing alright. I'm alright. I'm just chilling. I thought it was gonna be a little bit later or earlier since I got done quicker than expected. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, my bad.
It's not your fault. Because like I said, I had a certain time I thought something was gonna happen, and then something popped up for you. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm just waiting for my video to start premiering. So it's all good.
Dope.
But yeah, y'all was gonna say you're new, because you're new on InControl. InControl.
Yeah. Since like December, give or take.
December. Okay, nice.
Yeah. I was brought on as a content creator, and then Firebeard, he was the old stream director, left, and then I wound up interviewing with TJ and Reigns, and they were just like, yeah, obviously, like, hell yeah, we want to bring you on, so I just stepped into it.
Nice, that's what's up. That's good to hear. Yeah, I talked with TJ. I've been following TJ for a while. Like I said, even when I left InControl, it wasn't anything on bad terms. So, if I see something, I was able to see something that they tweet, I show love, drop a like, hit a retweet, depending on what it was. It's not bad. So, yeah. I was on InControl for a while as a content creator, and then I was also, I think I got elevated to head content creator and just bringing people in at one point. Dope. And I forgot exactly. I think, like I said, we left. It was good terms when I left. I just don't remember the exact reason for it right now. But I was actually a part of a group called Hydra Gaming. They had recently let me go because they were basically going in a different direction. They were basically focusing more on competitive shooters and stuff like that, like Halo, Rainbow Six. I think Gears. That's another big one. Was another big one. So it wasn't anything bad per se.
Okay.
So yeah, if you need to like check references or anything, I can later sometime in the conversation I'll be sure to give you the person that I was a part of Hydra for. I was with them for a while, like a little while after I left InControl. I was with Hydra, and then I've been with them for about almost 2 years. So
okay, nice.
Yeah, so I really don't like hopping around from place to place like that.
You stick around for a good amount of time.
I try to stick around because like one of my things is like, when you're building a team or whatever, you don't want to just keep moving at the slightest inconvenience. It doesn't look good for you, and you don't really grow as a creator. I guess I'll tell you about myself. I don't know if you had a chance to look at any of my stuff, but I do music, gaming, vlogs, or a little bit of social commentary. I try to stay away from that because sometimes that you get caught up in that, and that takes over the dang on channel. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate it sometimes.
Nah, I get that.
Yeah, I've been doing content creation for a while. I don't know if you looked at my YouTube or anything. I've been doing this. I've had my YouTube channel for about almost 12 years now.
Oh dang, nice.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. I'm at 4K subs. I've been uploading videos off and on. Like I said, I actually got a music premiere coming up in a little bit. Like I've been doing a little bit of DJing. One of the things one of the things I used to do IRL was I used to work in a strip club as a DJ, and it was fun. And so what I used to do, I kind of like added that to my content. I did a thing called Strip Club Chronicles, where I would talk about like some of my experiences, while working in a strip club or during the time of working, and then also I wanted to expand that and get some girls, you know, some dancers to talk about their things, and we, you know, kind of like generate conversation.
Right.
So my big thing is about generating conversation to where people can come in and, you know, bring in their viewpoints, and we can kind of like say, okay, I agree with this, I don't understand this, I don't understand when people say this, that, or the third. And this is across the board, not just for strip clubs, but also for music, for gaming. Gaming wise, I play a lot of stuff, but fighting games is mainly my go-to. Been playing fighting games for like years, so I tell people all the time, I play anything interesting. So I play things like, I even play like a little bit of Fortnite, Apex a little bit. What other shooters do I play? I played Call of Duty for a while. I even had my own clan at one point in Modern Warfare 2, back in the Modern Warfare 2 3 days.
In the good old days.
Yeah. So those days. And let me see what else I've played. Like I play NBA 2K. I actually like, I create my own little story. Like I've, like, you know, with 2K you can create your own. But I'm actually working on a little bit of a story out, you know, that'll be explained a little bit later. But like, I just, you know, basically my thing is, I want to make money doing the things that I enjoy doing. Like I personally hate,
rather than just falling in line with everybody else, cashing in on what's hot. Like,
9 to 5.
I totally get that.
Yeah, running, you know, doing 9 to 5s and stuff like that. Also, like, you know, some of my social commentary stuff is just, you know, stuff that from my point of view, and, you know, certain things that I don't, you know, that I kind of like speak out on, which we'll probably get into later. Like I said, because I do have a few questions, and, you know, some things, you know, from you that I want to, you know, kind of understand from you where you're coming from as a content creator, and what you're looking for InControl as well. But yeah, I'm not afraid to speak up, you know, if need be, and, you know, and also defend people if I need to, and all that good stuff. So yeah, give me a second, let me turn this down. Sorry. All right, that sound came out of nowhere. I forgot YouTube's premieres got the sounds coming out of nowhere. Jesus. It kind of scared me for about a split second. But that's pretty much it for right now, as an overview right now.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, so if you could tell me anything about, like, you know, you, like, I think you play shooters, I'm assuming.
So yeah, I'll give you the rundown myself, how I got started in content creation. I was big into Overwatch when it first came out. Played literally nothing but that for years on end. Went from every rank, from bottom of the rank leaderboard to all the way into top 500. Tried out for 2 pro teams, didn't make it, so that's why I was like, all right, maybe it's time for me to take a break from the game. You know, I think I've peaked at this point.
Right.
You know, let me take a break. So started getting into, you know, more variety content, just playing games that, like, I enjoyed, because it wound up becoming a chore to just play Overwatch 8 hours a day, day in, day out.
Right.
You know, and it was losing its luster. You know, I wasn't having fun, and that was a big thing. I was like, I want to have fun. I want to play what I want. You know, because I tried doing it here and there. You know, I became known as the Overwatch guy on my channel, so it's like, the second I didn't play anything Overwatch related, you know, viewership would plummet. And, you know, younger me, I was like so concerned about like numbers and everything rather than just enjoying myself.
True.
You know, so I started just playing more variety, you know, more story driven RPGs. You know, I love Dark Souls. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. I would just play that day in, day out, you know, make things challenging for myself by doing challenging, stupid shit. Then I started getting into speed running a little bit, only in one game in particular. And I've just been doing that since, and kind of just been chilling out on the FPS. You know, I'll go through phases where I'm like, man, I'm getting the Overwatch itch. I'm gonna play it again, and I'll have like a week where I play, and I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I'm good for another couple months.
Right. I know how that goes.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with content creation. I've definitely become more outgoing in terms of what I want on my channels. You know, I've gotten into like a little bit of like reacting content, just watching like compilations on stream while I wait for like my Valorant duo to get on or something, you know.
Okay.
Rather than just sitting around and wasting time and having dead air. Like I try to fill things now with just a ton of content. That way I could just pull, okay, cool, for like the first 15 minutes I did this on stream, let me just pull this, edit it down real quick, get a thumbnail going, and have it like premiere onto YouTube and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's where I'm at with my own content. As far as like looking for InControl, definitely looking for more variety stuff, because we are like chock full of FPS people right now.
Right.
And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, we need a little bit of variety going.
Right, exactly.
Like, otherwise, we're just going to become known as that group that has, all those Warzone, all those Apex streamers,
Right, exactly.
The more variety you have, the further reach you have as an org. So like the more streamers you have that do a bunch of different things and stand out, the further your reach is as an org, in my opinion.
Okay.
And so far that's kind of worked a little bit with what I've been doing. I've pulled in a couple new people. One of them was an Apex person, but pulling in somebody else that was in Control previously as well, who does like horror content. I got another guy pulling in who's currently doing like more variety and more chill side of like gaming rather than just hardcore FPS, kind of get more community traffic going.
Right, exactly. Matter of fact, I think I came across, what is her name? Is it Mama Meow? I think it was.
Yes. So she's actually not with us anymore.
Oh, okay.
She stepped away for her own reasons, completely amicable split. No bad blood. I still pop into her streams. Say, like, what's up? But she just had some stuff going on that she wanted to focus on.
Fair enough.
Specifically.
Okay.
Same with another streamer. She's had classes, finals, everything, wanted to focus on that. Because of that, like, she wasn't able to do as much streaming anymore, so she was going to step away. And I was like, I totally respect that. I'd rather you focus on what you got to do than focus on us. Like, obviously real life comes first. We're not going to ask you to just say no, like, you wanted to be a part of this, like, you got to stream. Like, I'm very chill. Like, you got real life shit going on,
right?
Let me know. I'm not going to hold it against you.
Right. Exactly. No, I feel that. Yeah. No. Well, the reason why I asked, because I remember TJ had retweeted it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, TJ's still doing this thing on InControl. Let me go check out, pop through. And I was like, oh, she cool. She plays League of Legends and Destiny. I was like, all right, cool. I play a little bit of League, and I suck at it, but it's all right.
I'm right there with you, man. Don't worry.
I'm just like, like, I'm actually getting okay. It's just like, man, I'm at the point where it's just like, oh god, that game is annoying. But yeah, like I'm really, like I said, my big thing is like what I look for in I look for community. Like, one thing I know is, like, I know a lot of my content can be considered different. Like, sometimes I'll chill. Like, some days I'll just go in there and I'll just be chilling, and sometimes I'm just chill. Sometimes we up there and like sometimes I'll play fighting games, sometimes I won't. Like off stream, I game off stream. Like, when I tell you I game, I do this shit for real, like off stream. So like I've been playing Sonic Adventure 2. Because I had a thing. I don't know if you've ever played that game before.
Like the OG of Sonic Adventure 2 battle.
Yeah, the battle, like on the Steam version. Yeah, so it's it's fun, and I found some mods on the game, and I was able to install it, for example. And one of the mods was Child World Extended for the Child World and all of that stuff. Right. So. And I was like, bro, like, because I happened to come across this video. This dude was like, oh yeah, you can do this there's like mods for Child. I'm like, there's mods for this game, there's mods for the Child, like, oh my god, in the Child World, it's like, oh, this is crazy. So I started going back and doing like Child stuff, like messing with the Child. Like, I don't even play the game. I just go back and mess with the Child, and then come leave the game for a while. But it's like I do stuff like that, and then I've actually, one of the things I started doing too, I think I did last month, was content wise, was just doing some teaching people about fighting games, because a lot of things, like, a lot of people don't understand, like, fighting games and how they work. And a lot of times I try to tell people, like, there's a lot of things that go down in fighting games that a lot of people don't really understand. And it's like some of the stuff that people complain about, even the people that are in the community, or that it's a really big thing, and it's like some people don't understand how it goes. So like I kind of want to like break that down and kind of help people understand you know, that was one of my things. I want to help people understand what's going on and how that works. And I actually got a couple of videos, like they're like live videos, and I just basically break down. I have like I don't necessarily have a script per se. I just have bullet points, and I kind of go from there off the bullet points. And then
Nice.
I just went in there and start talking about some stuff. The next video I want to plan, I think sometime next week, is I want to talk about like defense and like game, like fighting game philosophies and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people complain about with fighting games, for example, that really don't need to be complained about, in my personal opinion.
Right.
So, you know, so that like there are certain things that people complain about because they don't understand, you know. So
Right.
my thing is, I want to be able to you know, explain it, you know, in a way that people will understand, and also kind of present like a classroom so people can kind of question things, and you know, and I can kind of answer to the best of my ability, of course. So that's one of the things, that's one of my little mini avenues that I want to work on, and you know, and basically just trying to stay consistent with content. That's one of the things that's been kind of bothering me for the, you know, been my little downfall, I guess, is like, you know, trying to stay consistent, because sometimes I'll be like, yes, I'm gonna work on this content, and some days it's just like, you know, yeah, the depression kicks in.
Right. Yeah.
It's like just depression kicks in. It's like
It is what it is, you know.
yeah, and especially when it comes down to certain things, because I have a, you know, it's gonna lead to like, I guess, the first kind of official question, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about, because I was looking at your profile, and you know, when it comes down to certain things, like certain topics, when it comes down to gaming, I guess I've noticed there's been a lot of activism when it comes down to gaming.
Yeah.
And me personally, like I don't mind it to a degree, but my thing is like, there are certain things that honestly I think a lot of people take it too far, in my personal opinion. Like it's good to have something that you believe in and something that you stand for. That's definitely not a problem. I'll tell that to anybody. But I guess my question would be to like, I notice when it comes down to stuff like certain topics, when it comes down to things that people don't agree with, they always try to like, I've noticed there's been like a disconnect when it comes down to people like that. Like a lot of people don't know how to agree to disagree and like move on, especially when it comes down to the gaming space and gaming sphere.
Yeah.
Because some of my videos and some of my, like, especially when I do my social stuff, I hit on topics that are like a lot of people like don't necessarily agree on. So and especially with some of the gaming stuff too, actually, like for example, I believe that gaming is for everybody, but not every game is for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely agree, 100%.
Okay, and where the disconnect is, like a lot of people complain about, oh, a game needs an easy mode. Big case in point, Elden Ring, for example.
Oh yeah.
People complained about Elden Ring, and I'm like, bro, like if y'all don't shut the fuck up, you know. And I get kind of brash, so like I come from like the arcade. I come from like the arcade era when it comes to fighting games. So I'm about to be 35 this year. You know what I'm saying? So like I come from like the arcade, like on the tail end of that arcade era, where like, you know, you get hyped, everybody get hyped, everything was right there. You know, some of the stuff that people would say online today, they wouldn't say half of the stuff if it was back in the arcade days. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So my thing is, when it comes down to stuff like this, when it comes to disagreements and stuff like that, how do you personally handle stuff like that? Like when people start saying, like, for example, like how do you handle that? Like I know it's kind of a general question. Like how do you handle that?
No, I totally get it. So like, are you talking like random people on the internet, or like within the org, let's say?
Let's start with people. Let's start with people in the org, because that's actually
okay. So that's perfect, because like you know Reigns, right?
Reigns
Vision.
Yes,
Bobby?
yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's my homie.
Okay.
Love him to death. There are times where like him and I just don't agree on something. You know, we'll discuss it, except we'll like argue in like a joking way, but we never get like offensive with one another. You know, it doesn't resort to anything like that. Like we discuss it, but because we're friends, like we'll dick around with each other, but not like be offensive and start, being just nasty to one another. We'll talk about it civilly and everything.
Okay.
As far as like random people on the internet, the way that I view it is when you're part of an org, you're essentially representing the brand at all times on social media. So while you may want to say like a certain thing, it's better to stay civil and just put your opinion out there than not feed into it so much. And if you do, just to like, obviously don't resort to like slurring people and shit like that. That's the basic thing that like I ask for, of like people in the org. Like if you're gonna like argue with somebody on Twitter about like a hot take or something like that, try to just keep it civil.
Right.
Don't say anything that labels you as a certain thing, because then that puts like liability on us as the org. Oh, this is who we have under our name representing us.
Right.
So recently we had to let somebody go because of that. It wasn't because his opinion just had differed. It was because he was like going in and getting personal and offensive to people in his replies, other people in the org. And I'm like, I went to TJ, I'm like, bro, like I don't know how you feel about it, but this isn't a good look. This guy is tweeting like this out on his profile with our name in his bio, and it's not looking good. Like people are like reaching out and they're like, hey, who is this guy? And I'm like, oh god, here we go.
Right.
There's a difference between being outspoken and then taking it like too far.
Right. And I will agree with that. My only thing with this, my only caveat with this, because I actually had somebody try this with me before, and if you look at my bio, it says that I also do I know a dude by the name of Johnny from Custom Controllers. I've been cool with him for years. And and I promote he does custom controllers as his name suggests, and anytime he puts something out, it's cool. Like it's whatever. Like I retweet it, no problem. It's and I've talked with him before, and dope dude, really humble dude from California, dope dude. And I actually had somebody that was a part of another work, mind you, when this stuff was going down about the hate raid thing on Twitch. And my stance on that was use the tools. Basically, essentially, the tools were there. A lot of people that were getting hit with the hate raids, a lot of them were not using the tools. And the thing with Twitch's tools, they're learning tools. So you're gonna get caught with certain things, but if you continuously use the certain tools, or if you continue to how do I put it? Like if you basically you have to basically tell the system what to do in order for it to work, and that's how a lot of tools are. When it comes down to it, that's like the reality of it. Like any tool isn't going to pick up any word. Oh well, this word's a slur, that word's a slur. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people make these rules up as we go. Okay, that's what a lot of these people, that especially when it comes down to Twitter, and a lot of these people on the streaming sphere, they a lot of when it comes down to from a political standpoint, because I'm not really a political dude, but I've noticed a lot of left-leaning people, they start making up words on the fly, and they're this is racist, or that's dysphobic, or that dysphobe, or istophobe, or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like I know the definition of what homophobic is, and
exactly.
So me saying, for example, if I say I don't agree with a homosexual's lifestyle, or somebody that's gay their lifestyle, for example, I'm not homophobic. I just disagree with their lifestyle. And a lot of people it's
not that you hate them with a passion.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Exactly. And it's not that I hate I if anybody were to pick on somebody for that, strictly because of that, they're wrong. That's no questions asked. But what I don't like is when you put something out there, like for example on Twitter or whatever, and instead of coming to me direct, like if you have a problem with me, you come to me directly, and this goes for anybody across the board. So I had somebody do that, and they actually reached out to the custom controllers dude, and he reached out to me. He said, bro, you may want to chill out on what you're tweeting, because somebody, and the first thing I told him, I said, who said it? I said, who said it?
Who said it, and why can't they come to me themselves?
No, who said it? Like, send me the screenshot of who said it, and he did. And he's a cool dude now. Like, but we sat down there and I talked to him. I actually reached out to him in DM. I said, hey, bro, look, I appreciate you, showing concern or whatever. But hey, if you got a problem with me, please talk to me, because that's not what I meant. Like I said, when we're saying use the tools, I do understand that, yes, you can't block every version of the N-word or whatever. That's fine. Okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, when you are a streamer, you have to realize you have to develop some kind of tough skin, because there are people out there who don't care about what we do. There's people out there who hate the fact that people are out here getting money and building a community and streaming games, and people want to come and see them. That people are mad about that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because they ain't us.
Exactly. And yeah. I had a friend of mine actually that actually showed me a site, a forum site of people who would literally sit and do hate raids. And I had to I was browsing on the site as a guest, and my blood boiled, because it's like, these people there's people that literally sit here and do that.
Yeah. That
want to ruin streamers' lives and try to get them off the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they think that, they don't belong here. So there's some people that just don't, that are basically just, like that famous quote, some people just want to watch the world burn.
Exactly.
You feel me? So that's why I ask, and that's really a big concern. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I looked at your bio, I was like, oh boy. The first thing I said was, oh boy, because when it comes down to stuff like that, normally it's not a good sign. It's like the thing with the pronouns in the bio, running gag. It's
right.
It becomes a problem. Like, and I will say personally, I have no problem with people wanting, people that are trans, LGBTQ, all that, and I do believe in equality, right? But at the same time, that's not your, and I've argued with several black streamers about this shit, that that's not that's not the sole purpose of who you are. Like, okay, you're black, so what? Okay, I've gotten more hate. I can tell you this. I've gotten more hate from my own people because I don't agree with the it's hard for us as black people line than I've ever had from some random white supremacist, quote unquote, white supremacist dude coming into my channel saying, oh, F you N-word. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, F you, I'm gonna hang you from a tree. Like, to be honest with you, I've never gotten that. Like, I've had a few people try, like, I've had a troll try it some years ago, but I blocked that thing and blocked it. I may have said my little piece, blocked it, and moved on. Because once again, if you're in the spotlight, folks are gonna try you, and then that's just my mentality when it comes down to this. So, like, I've had people that literally, when it came down to it, I've been called, like I said, I've been called Uncle Tom, I've been called Coon, I've been called all of this stuff. Most of it, like I said, from black people or in people that are in the same streaming space. Right. So it's like, it's I've been in that position, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's one of my big concerns is when it comes down to things that, you don't agree with, like how to handle it. Like I said, I do understand, like, when you're a part of a org, okay, yeah, certain things, that's cool. Like, but I also believe in, like I said, free speech is free speech, period. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And I don't like, right now, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of things that's a lot of stuff that's really been on attack when it comes down to, like, free speech, if you notice, because a lot of people are just sitting up here talking about, oh, we want to make sure, it's this inclusive thing, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it sounds good on paper. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, it sounds great. And yeah, we all want to be inclusive. Gaming is definitely an inclusive environment. But once again, like I said earlier in the conversation, not every game is for everybody. Like, especially when you're playing a competitive game, there are some people that trash talk. Like, trash talking is a part of the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And some people, their trash talk is a little bit more colorful than you suck. You feel
Right,
me?
yeah.
You know, they gonna talk about your mama, they gonna talk about your daddy, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna sit up here, they gonna say you sound like this, that, and the third, or oh, they see your profile picture. I can't tell you how many times people have taken my profile picture on Twitter and try to make fun of me because of what the stuff I say. It's quite hilarious, actually, because it's all the same shit anyway. They always take my picture and they try to talk about my high top or whatever. I'm like, get some new shit, please. Okay,
get some new jokes, hey,
please get some new shit.
It's not shit I haven't heard before,
right. That and the fact that you know, most of it is from people that, like, I pick up on patterns. So like, most of the people that talk about looks on internet are people that hide behind anime picture.
Oh, absolutely. That's the running joke, right?
And it's true. It hasn't been wrong yet. You know what I'm saying? And of course you got other people that, you know, that have their pictures on too, and then they want to sit up here and talk about looks, especially when it comes down to, once again, some of these social topics. They try to, oh well, you looking like this, see, no wonder why you're speaking like this, because you look like this, that. I'm like, how I look has nothing to do with this.
It has zero to do with it. Because
you suck at a game, or you think that or you think I can't tell you, I've been told I hate women too. That's the funny part. Oh, that's hilarious. I've been told a whole lot of stuff. I got stories for days, bro. I've been told a lot of things. So like I said, my thing is just like that's one of my big concerns, is like when it comes down to certain things. Like, for example, I do believe that when it comes down to, like, for example, a lot of people complain about women in games, right? I don't think women in gaming is a problem. Never has been. And I believe any woman that's willing to play games is more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to play games, like if you're an actual gamer. The problem is, especially on Twitch, I've noticed, and this is based off of observation, me sitting back and watching, that there is a whole lot of girls that are not really gaming like that. A lot of them are casual at best. You know what I'm saying? And especially with this Twitch thing, with the hot tub streamer thing. Yeah. I think that is the dumbest decision for them to add that. Like, it's bad enough. Absolutely. It's bad enough that the just chatting section was kind of a thing, you know, and there's girls in there that weren't really doing anything. You know, but then it made it worse with like the hot tubs and, you know, girls that were gaming. Like, don't get me wrong, it's dope to see an attractive girl that games. It's cool, but like I said, if that's what you really are about, you know what I'm saying? And there's been several times where it's been the other way around. You know, a lot of these girls are just attracted. They're using their attractiveness to prey on, you know, men and young boys too, because Twitch is 13 plus. And I'm like, you're doing this stuff, and they're doing stuff intentionally. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like, all you have to do is hang around girls long enough to know when they're doing intentionally foul shit. You get me? Right. Like, it may not be directly foul, but like, you could tell, like, a girl's got the camera on her like on her chest. You can see her cleavage. You can, you know, ain't nothing wrong with and there's nothing wrong with a girl that's attractive, once again, and that she just so happens to have nice body or whatever. That's nothing wrong with that, because I know a couple of girls that look like that, you know what I'm saying, and that actually play games. But it's like, they actually play games though, right? You know, so it's like that's my thing. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So absolutely, I agree.
I don't. My thing when it comes down to stuff like that is like, you know, it does need to be said. And it's not that I don't want to make it seem like, oh, well, you hate women in gaming, and because, you know, that's the first thing people do is they'll try to say, oh, you hate women, and then they'll go right for the sponsors. I hate people that do that, and I hate when people do that, because it's one thing to disagree with me, right, or disagree with anybody, but the only acceptable way that I think that you should attack someone's sponsor is if they are completely deplorable. Right? Yeah. If they're Hitler levels of bad. Yeah. Okay. Or if they are a clear and present threat, like, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. If, you know, and but the reality is, they, like, a lot of people try to make it seem that way, but the reality is those type of people are like literally few and far between.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
yeah, absolutely.
There are, you know, most people are just, you know, if you really sit down and talk with some of these people, or at least try to understand where they're coming from, you can kind of like, okay, you can get their point. You know, you may not agree with what they do, you know, but you can at least say, okay, I get where you're coming from, and, you know, move on with the shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I notice now there's a lot of people that are trying to silence other people for simply having a difference of opinion, and that's one of a big thing that I have a big no against. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, unless you're completely harassing somebody, or you're definitely being like abusive towards, you know, people in chat or whatever, then yeah, I understand, you know, I understand. But if you're just speaking up on something that, you know, it might be a controversial topic or something like that, you know, then I understand, you know, or then I understand, okay, just leave them alone, let them be, you know, let them be. You can agree to disagree, you could talk about them or whatever, then just let them be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my stance on stuff like that. And like I said, that's just gaming stuff. Like, when it comes down to, like, you know, the bigger stuff, like I said, when it comes down to activism in gaming, like I said, me personally, I think the gaming should come first.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, that's what a lot of us are. Like, a lot of games now are trying to push that little Activision thing in there, and I don't really care much to it, because I feel like it's putting, you know, shoving something down our throats that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's not necessarily completely true. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people say, for example, racism is running rampant in the gaming industry. No, the fuck it's not.
No, it's not. No.
You know. So, you know, what you think?
Okay. No, I agree with what you said. I do think, you know, having obviously a difference of opinion is good and healthy, you know, when it's, you know, discussed in a good way, and not the whole, I'm not listening to your opinion, it's wrong, you have a anime profile picture, you know. You know, it's just shit like that, you know. Like, I'm all for, like, fucking let's talk about it, you know. Like, okay, why? Let's talk about it, you know.
Right, exactly.
Like, we're all the same here, let's just fucking discuss.
Right,
you know,
right, where possible. So I have to add that, where possible, because some people just don't. Some people are insufferable. Some people
just don't want to listen.
Yeah. I'm literally dealing with a troll like that right now. I got another content creator, YouTube content creator, on my, you know, trying to be on my ass right now, but he's failing miserably because he can't seem to get the same number of views I get.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with everything you said, and I'm totally about it.
Yeah, so that's my biggest thing. That's one of my issues that I have is like I said, I try to be like I said, I am open about some things, but then, like I said, my thing is, when it comes down to it, is like, you know, are people willing to listen to an opinion that's different than theirs? Because, like I said, I don't agree with the fact that it's hard especially for women in gaming, because it's really easy. Like, it's it's stupid easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier for it's too easy. Like, a girl can literally, if she's consistent enough and she's just starting, she can make some progress. You know what I'm saying? And especially more if she does certain key things, like certain questionable things, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and break TOS a bit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, me personally, it's like I said, it's not, how do I put this? It's not in a way of being rude, but it's based off of observation. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I say, hey, play the game how I go, do you, boo boo? But you know, just don't get mad when you get people wanting to see feet pics.
Right, exactly.
For example, or if they're asking if you sell bathwater. You feel me?
Exactly.
You know, and like I said, I mean, it's not to sound condescending, but there's, like I said, I know girls that do OnlyFans. Like, I've had people, like I said, once again, I've had people tell me I hate women. I'm like, no, like, nothing wrong with that. like, oh well, why are you mad that she does OnlyFans? I'm like, I'm not mad she does OnlyFans. Like I told you, I used to work in this with strip club, so I that was one of the things options I would tell girls to do to make extra money.
Right.
OnlyFans. Hello. Like I got a home like I got a homegirl right now that's happened to be within the area. She dances, and I'm like, we've actually worked on a video like Strip Club Chronicles video together. We're actually going to be working on another one. So I'm like, how you going to tell me I hate women when I literally talk to them?
Right.
I just don't put up with their shit.
Right.
I'm a little bit more harder on them than I am, with dudes, because like, we get to be honest, we get shit all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I told a female friend of mine on a podcast I'm a part of, is like it's easy. It's kind of scary, like how like you just talking with a woman right now can get you in trouble. Like it's really scary, and like it can be a scary thing. Like your life can be ruined. She can lie, and there's no consequence for her.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I mean, we see it right now with Amber Heard.
Yep.
And with Amber Heard, that's just one person, one celebrity. Imagine there's a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of regular people, regular Johnny Depps out there that are dealing with some of the same stuff, but they can't get such break because they don't have the money to do so. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I kind of like I tackle, is like a lot of people don't understand like the reality of certain things, if that makes sense. Right. So it's like, and it's like I said, people want to talk about the inequalities and stuff like that. It's like the biggest thing is it starts with you, right? If you see there's an inequality that needs to be happening, like for example, you see for example, women are being underrepresented in gaming, quote unquote. It starts with you. You playing with female friends, or building genuine relationships. Building genuine relationships with female friends and playing with them. That's that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the big things that I kind of push for. And one of the things I look for in orgs, like I said, I look for pushing, everybody, pushing each other. I'm not saying everyone has to follow everybody, but at least be aware of their existence. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Be aware of your teammates.
Yeah, your teammates, and and try to like support them. Because that was one of my biggest things that I had to deal with, especially before I left the org. It was like, guys, I feel like my videos aren't getting any traction. Like I know I'm not doing necessarily gaming videos. I know that's not the scope of what you're looking for, or you guys are leaning more towards that section. But guys, hi, I do content too.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was kind of a thing that that I'm kind of big on. Like, if I am going to be a part of a group, like, no disrespect, I've been doing this for a minute, and I've been, like I said, I've been doing this by myself for a minute. So like, it would be nice to, have that extra, that extra backing. Cause like I said, I try to be there for, other people as well, as much as possible, but at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to get my, my numbers up there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's my big thing right now, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Is internal support, like, you know what I mean?
Like, and everybody eats kind of mentality,
Yeah, and everybody eats, and because I used to run I don't know if you've been on YouTube long enough to know about Machinima back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember Machinima.
Yeah. So when they did the YouTube mini MCNs, basically, that's how I started my own thing called Dynasty Network. That's part of my that's my personal brand that I built, my business that I built up.
Right.
And it started as a YouTube MCN. And one of the things I would do was actually, I think I had like 80 people before the MCN shut down. I had like 90 people, and we had like 10 million total views together at one point.
Nice,
including my channel. And one of the guys that got big, I'm actually friends with to this day. He was started doing parodies, like Sonic the Hedgehog parodies, and he ended up doing this one video, like he was doing parodies that was already doing really good. I like this content. Dude's funny as hell. But then I noticed he started doing Five Nights at Freddy's when it came out, how to make Five Nights at Freddy's not scary. And there was just like little funny little clips and stuff like that. It was just, you know, just to be funny, and it started gaining traction. So what I started doing was I started realizing that his stuff got really popular. So what I did was I said, all right, look, guys, he's starting to get up there. Let's take his videos, check it out, share it around. Let's move it around. And they kind of helped boost it a bit. And you know, I think he ended up getting like 2 million, like hitting his first million total view count off of it, off of that one video, and actually a series of videos, you know, just from helping push. Because one, I realized that, okay, you know, as part of a team, you got to realize when somebody's a hot hand, you know what I'm saying? You know, feed the hot hand, you know, right. Like if you're playing, say for example, you're playing you know, you're playing Overwatch, and you know, you got somebody that on your team that's on fire, you're gonna play through them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
So that's the same concept that I kind of have with teamwork. You know what I mean? And
yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same thing with a lot of orgs. It's like, you know, I get it. You know, there's a lot of people are vying for attention. So it really helps to take the time to like listen to the people that's involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, like I said, that's one of the things I kind of look for. And I kind of look at it as like, okay, well, you know, what's like, not necessarily the numbers of everybody else, but like what do you got, like what is everybody doing, like as far as like content creation or streaming, or you know, or what are they doing this for, what are their goals, or are they trying to hit goals, or are they just doing it just to be doing it, you know?
Right, exactly.
And that's one of my biggest things when it comes down to a lot of these groups, is like a lot of the orgs, they just, you know, like if you're not big already, it kind of falls flat. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, like I said, it kind of is kind of unfair to those that want to. You know what I'm saying? That have like people like myself that want to. They have a desire to do it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely it does. Absolutely.
Any questions so far? Like, you know, I don't want to be doing all talking. I'm sorry.
No. Like I'm all good. I'm getting all the answers I need. You know,
I'm talking from experience, because a lot of this is experience talking, and I'm just like,
right, exactly.
I'm just also like certain concerns that I have is just like, I'm really like personally, like I just really want, like I said, I feel like me personally, like I, not to like toot my own horn, but it's like I got shit, like I got content. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the content, like you know, it's just pick something and go with it. yeah So that's my thing. And it's like, you know, and it just comes from experience and taking the time to learn. Like I said, I don't mind helping people, I don't mind going out the way, you know, being a part of an org. I just got to the point to where, you know, to be transparent, I just got to the point where I'm just tired. Like I'm just tired of, you know, pushing for people and I'm not getting none back. You know,
right, exactly.
I'm kind of big on reciprocation. Like you know, I'm like, I'm tired of, like, you know, and even then sometimes I'm kind of like, I have to like make sure it's real, because sometimes I'm like, okay, you know, are they really, or is this a real thing, or are we or is this fake, you know? Because I've had people like, I've like once again, to be transparent, like some years ago, former church I was at, like I literally wasted 10 years I was at. I felt like, because I was first one there, last one out, you know, always faithful, doing the thing. And like I said, I had no problem with being faithful. But when it came down to stuff that I was really trying to do and interested in doing, a lot of what I was trying to do, it just fell flat. You know, I was promised help, didn't really get it. You know, but you know, my faithfulness was applauded though, but it didn't get me anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like I said, I started noticing that with other things, you know, with content creation, with certain people that I used to hang with. And now I'm at the point now, especially when it came down to like, you know, once again, dealing with, as I dub it, black streamer Twitter, you know, that always complains about, you know, racism and quote unquote racism in gaming, that we got to deal with racism every day, which is complete and total bullshit. And it's just like, I'm just over this. I'm over this, you know, being used. Like, I don't mind, you know, entertaining folks. That's not a problem. I just don't feel like being used. And then, you know, and when it comes down to stuff that I'm trying to get done, it's crickets. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that.
So and that's why like now like I'm really just stingy about my time. I've had like I got a homeboy that I've known for years. Like he's pretty much my brother. Like he's gotten mad at me because it's like, man, like you don't be picking up your phone when I call you. I could be in trouble. I'm like, bro, like my bad, bro. My bad, but it's because I'm at the point now to where I value my time. Like I'm trying to value my time,
exactly.
because I've wasted so much of it trying to worry about what other people are doing. Oh well, you good, and then when it comes down to me or what I feel like I need, it's crickets. You feel me? So so that's one of my big things that I'm really looking at when it comes down to being a part of org. Is like, okay, can I get the same, can I get some pushback, or can I get some people that's going to come in and push? I'm not saying like you don't have to be like kissing ass on every video I do, or even if you don't agree, just be like, hey man, I don't understand. I know you said X, Y, and Z, like okay, social topic, for example, the whole Roe v. Wade thing that's happening right now. A lot of people don't read it. A lot of people didn't read what that was, what overturning that was, right? Essentially, it gives overturning Roe v. Wade basically gives the power back to the states for abortion. Now, and a lot of people are like, well, this is taking away women's rights, and I'm like, no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Abortion is healthcare. No, full stop. No, it's not. Okay, I don't agree with that, and I've had people, oh well you hate women if and I've seen people already. You'll do this on Twitter. I've seen it already, and some of them are gaming journalists, mind you. Matter of fact, I actually quote retweeted an article from Bounding in the Comics that a gaming journalist basically essentially threatened a Supreme Court judge for their involvement in the draft of the overturning. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Uh-oh, I think I hit him.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
No, you're good.
I was about to say, oh, he went muted. I said, up, we're in trouble.
You're good.
No, I'm just messing. But so yeah, I'm like, but why would you? And these are the people that are claiming to be tolerant, mind you. And I'm like, how? First of all, this is a draft. We don't even. This is not the final thing yet, right? So whoever leaked it should be in trouble. Because that's a government document, and you leak a government document.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's trouble. From 1, 2, it's a draft. So we don't even know if that's the real thing. Like we don't know if it's the full thing or not. So when it comes down to stuff like that, like people, like a lot of people get like up in arms about stuff like that, and that's one of the things that a lot of people are not taking the time to actually read and comprehend, instead of they look at the clickbait. You know what I mean? Oh.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So like, and a lot of people, like, so when people start doing that and people start making those polarizing statements, I kind of like, I had to like, no, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually take the time, like I took the time to read that, because like, for example, like I said, I personally believe when it comes down to stuff like this, like a woman, you can do what you want. Like a woman can do what she wants with her body is, right? When it comes down to her abortion. Now, as it takes two to tango, right? A baby doesn't get here by the stork or whatever, that we used to think back in the gap, right? So it takes two to tango, and a lot of women that say, well, men doesn't have control, a lot of them don't understand that a lot of those rulings that happen when it comes down to it, it basically, some of these people actually talk to women or have women in their ear with some of these rulings. So matter of fact, for example, or some of these rulings are things that are in place are also created by women too, like Planned Parenthood was originally owned by created by I forgot her flipping name. I was about to say it and I don't remember her flipping name, but it was a white woman who did it, and she was a eugenicist, if I'm saying that correctly.
Okay.
and she was actually kind of vile too. Yeah, but that's whole. I'll digress. Whole nother story, because I did a little bit of research and I was like, it blew my mind. The power of research, I love it. But when it comes down to stuff like that, like people making polarizing comments, and then and then especially within the gaming sphere, you got to be careful with stuff like that, because it's like, why would you make polarizing statements like that and then try to other what's the word, ostracize other people because they have a different opinion. Right. And I don't even sit up here and say like I fully disagree. I'm like, look, bro, are you sure that's what that is? Check your information. Did you read the article? Well, why do I gotta read the article? It says it right there, and I'm like, oh Lord, did you? I guess you didn't. I'm like, well, I got my answer.
Right.
I got my answer. Fuck. And then it becomes, then once again, that's when it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It becomes that, oh well, you're gonna let this guy, oh, you're part of InControl, we're gonna message your sponsors, we're gonna do this, that, and the third, we're gonna message your people to, I'm like, but you didn't read. All I said was read.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I honestly believe, like, when it comes to stuff like that, like, one, it's important to read, and like I said, abortion is a woman's choice, but it does, like I said, especially when you're involving a dude, he does have some say. I honestly think the only way abortion is okay, slightly, is if it's a medical condition. Like if it's like life or death, like if it's either you or the baby. You know what I'm saying? Or the baby cannot survive at all. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to abort the baby. You know what I'm saying? Right. And even then that's a tough choice to make. You feel me? Like I will never understand like the weight of that decision. I'm not going to pretend I will. And I do understand that it is a very tough, I do understand that that's a tough thing to deal with. However, like I said, that's it should be last resort. And the number, like a lot of people have came to me and be like, well, what if medical conditions, what if rape, what if this, that, and the third. After looking up some stuff, even with medical conditions, like medical complications, those numbers are low. Like under, like not even like a full, like maybe 5% low, like give or take 5% low, and that's adding medical conditions, emotional condition, including emotional, physical, emotional, and then also rape too. That's the other one. Yeah. And if you ever want like the paper of what I looked at, I'll link it to you whenever, if you ever want to have that conversation. And it's like, bro, like, so the reality is a lot of people are just, using it as an excuse to do it. And I'm like, no, it's not a top 3 thing. Like anybody's using that as a first choice, like abortion as a first choice, I kind of question, because that's a damaging thing. Like, that could damage, like, even if a safe, quote unquote, safe abortion could hurt your body, and not only hurt you physically, but more so emotionally, because your body basically has gotten ready to, a woman's body has gotten ready to, get that baby, and now all of a sudden the baby's not out, or the baby didn't, go through or whatever. Basically you killed another life, and some way, how you're gonna feel some type of way about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, why are you promoting it as a top 5, like a top 3 choice to do? Like, oh well, I don't want this baby aborted. Like I can't. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
I mean, I know that's a controversial in today's time, a controversial statement, but it's like, it should be, like I said, you have a right to choose, but it's like, it shouldn't be and I'm putting aside morals, because I'm not even talking about like the morality reason. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people bring up church and all of that stuff. Like what I'm speaking on is not even morality, because like I said, I grew up in church, so I understand that part, but it's not even that. It's just, from a statistical standpoint, it's not even completely true. You feel me? So it's it's one of those things, and then you sit back, it's weird, and then you got companies like gaming companies advocating for it. That's the weird part. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I said the same thing with BLM too, when they, you know, when gaming companies tried to like, you know, hey guys, we stand with you. We're like, no, bro, like this don't sit right. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you're supposed to be a brand. Like I get you want to do the right thing, but it's like, bro, y'all pandering right now. You're pandering. I see it, but you know, I call it out. It's, you know, it's a problem. But you know, hey, Black Lives Matter though.
Right.
I'm like, I'm a black man saying this stuff. Like the irony is like, I'm a black man saying this, and then you shut up. You're I'm like, but I thought Black Lives Matter. No, not you, because you're speaking differently from what we believed, and your life doesn't. I'm like, oh God. Oh, okay. Well, I found out that I guess my black life doesn't matter. I say that to be funny, but I'm just like, it's just, you know, pointing out the hypocrisy of a lot of stuff, and it's weird. Like it's just weird, you know. So I like I said, my two biggest things are like that. Those are my two biggest things, really. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No.
My two biggest things really is like, you know, how dealing with disagreements within the organization, and then also you know, just, you know, overall support.
Right.
And like I said, that's my biggest thing before I commit to another org. Like I said, I came back to InControl because I definitely you know, like I said, I have a good rapport. You know, like I said, I have a good rapport, especially with TJ. You know, I'm familiar with him, and you know, he's been doing this thing. I show support whenever I get a chance, and you know, if I see it, hey, y'all doing your thing. I think y'all just picked up a Rainbow Six team, right?
So we picked up a Rainbow Six team, reformed a CSGO team, and have a Apex team now as well.
Okay, cool. See, there you go.
And I think TJ said he's working on getting a Valorant team.
Good shit. That's what we like to see.
Yes, sir.
I'm definitely, like I said, I don't mind that at all. Like I said, look, I just need to get back on fighting games and we good. Get back and playing, doing a little bit of competitive fighting games or just regular games in general. You know, we good. But yeah, like I said, that's one of the things that I look for. Like, you know, if you got any other questions for me or something that you don't agree with me, please speak up.
No,
like
I'm all good.
Okay, like I said, please let me know, because I know there are certain things that, you know, we might disagree on, or you may not understand where I'm coming from. Please ask, because what I don't want, this is kind of a personal pet peeve of mine. Is when I talk to people and like we have conversations like this, and it's like, oh yeah, I got you, and then right after I get, you know, I happen to go back and I look, oh, so and so unfollowed me. I thought we was cool. Why did they unfollow me on Twitter? And then I go back and look. I go back and look. Oh, I can't believe this dude did this. I can't believe this dude said blah 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 blah. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Right.
You was just cool. Like we was just cool 2 seconds ago. Like I literally told you, if you had a problem with me, let me know. Right. And so when I ask people, like, if you had a problem with me, let me know, and you don't let me know, and then you go to social media or you go somewhere else to vent about it, to me, you lose credibility like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at the end of the day, I was like, you told me we good, and then, you know, now it's gotten to the point to where I come to expect it.
Right.
You know, which is bad. But that's why I asked. Like, that's why I'm like, feel free to step in if you disagree with something or you want to give your viewpoint on something. Please let me know, because I ain't perfect at all.
Right. No, I get it.
I love to hear other people's viewpoints. That's why I like having conversations like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just asking. So I mean,
you're good.
But anything that you want to know from me, like anything?
I mean, again, you basically answered like everything for me, essentially. You know, so all I gotta do now is just talk to TJ and Bobby and come to a decision about it. You know.
Okay. Cool.
That's all I gotta do on my end now.
Okay.
And that's only gonna be like a day or two, you know, give or take.
Fair enough. I was gonna ask something, and So while I'm thinking on that question, like overall, what vibes are you getting from me? Like, what is your personal opinion of me? Like, be honest.
Chill, active, knows who they are, knows what they want to do, knows their worth. That's the general vibe that you're giving off.
Okay.
If you just from like this short conversation,
Okay. Excuse me, I have to give me some water now. I swear I hate drinking tap water. Ugh.
That's good.
I can't stand. I'm about to say like, Mom, we need bottled water. I'm playing. Right. I'm weird. I'm weird like that. Trust me. Weird little outbursts. Trust me, you're gonna get some of those. It be like that sometimes. But I kind of do that to kind of break up the monotony when it comes down to, especially when it comes to heavy topics.
Right.
I've noticed when it gets heavy, and then I notice it gets heavy in here. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it's getting heavy in here. Let me just go ahead and say something random, break up the monotony. But I play a lot. Like I said, I also do a lot of other games. Matter of fact, there's this adult game that actually I've been playing for a while. They actually followed me on Twitter. This game called League of Maidens is actually pretty fun.
Okay.
Pretty. It's like I think it started off as a MOBA. Like kind of like the parody League of Legends, but I think they went away from that route to go to the more like RPG-ish, like an MMO-ish, RPG-ish type route.
Right.
And they're in alpha right now, and pretty good. Like the game is actually pretty good. They went the more like superheroine type route with like emphasis on like sexy women in video games and stuff like that. Oh, that's a question I want to ask you. Okay, so sexy women in games, how do you feel about that? Like,
I'm fine with it.
You fine with it? Okay. I just want to like I didn't know if like you like seeing like boobies in games, like you know.
If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
Like no, I want boobies in my video games. I'm not playing it. If I don't see a tit, nah. Right. If I don't see a tit, I ain't playing it. Nah. I just hate the blatant anti-sexuality thing that. And the clear double standard, I don't. That's one thing I don't like. Is the clear the people that are complaining about the people that complain about it are the same ones that are okay when men are sexualizing games. It's like, bro, like y'all don't understand. Men have been playing video games for how long? You know what I'm saying? And most this like a lot of women just recently started playing games. Like casually or coming out that they play games. It's not a big deal. Like for example, the Dead or Alive series. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game.
Yeah.
Man, that game. Well, 6 sucks, but that game came under heavy fire because of the the sexuality in the game, and it's like the fighting game is actually one of the more deeper fighting games that we have. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's there, like if they decide to go that route. It is what it is. Like they've been doing it for years. Like the jiggle physics in the game was like been around since the arcade era. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, why are you these people that are complaining? These people that are complaining about it, I think honestly they don't play the games. They don't understand like the player base for one, and two is like most of them they like a lot of these games that are for quote unquote global attention, they don't do too well. You know what I'm saying? If that makes that or that global standard is like they don't seem to do too well. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because they lack kind of feeling in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've seen that a lot with a lot of shooters too. So especially with shooters, a lot of people have complained about stuff like that and voice chat. Ugh. I just tell people, look, if you can't handle, like, don't voice chat if you're not gonna if you can't take the heat.
Right.
Please. Do us all a favor, because like I'm tired of seeing these videos, especially with the girls playing game. They're sitting there in the void. They're sitting there on their little webcam and just taking the verbal abuse from these people. And I was like, bro, you can easily like mute them, block them. Right. If it's that bad, report them and move on about your day. Like you don't have to like make them. You don't have to make a clip of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then because that's what they do. So I've seen it. I've seen it all the time. It's like, bro, please. It's like, okay, I get it. What he said was okay. What he said was a little harsh, but like, God, dog, come on now. You could have easily like clap back, say something. Like it's too easy. Like talk about his dick size or something. Like it's not hard. Please do us all a favor. Like grow a spine. Like I think a lot of it is just people just need to kind of grow a spine. That's all. That's me.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I'm a boomer now.
What?
I feel like a boomer now because I'm like, back in my day we used to.
Oh jeez.
Back in my day we used to have a cloud. We used to yelling at the cloud. Matter of fact, look, that would be funny because now games are on the cloud now, so we can yell at the cloud. Get it? No,
right. Exactly.
Never mind. I'll leave my dad jokes alone.
all good.
But no, I appreciate talking with you, man. Like I said, if you ever got any questions or something like you don't understand, like if you want to, matter of fact, I think the video just got finished premiering. If you ever want to watch it, like I said, I do. Like I said, that's my wrong one. Nope, delete. Wrong one.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's not it. That's definitely not me. I am not that famous yet. All right, hold up, yes, I'm deleting that message. Are you sure you want to delete the message? All right, there it goes. Bam.
All right, nope.
There we go. All right, yeah, I just got a few comments on it right now. Got another, matter of fact, I had it set up to where I did 2 mixes already. Like last month I did 2 recordings of the mixes that I do, and then I said I had them set for this month. So I was like, I got one I had one today, and then I got one at the end of the month too. Yeah, that one's gonna be more more strip club related. So
nice.
The video stuff is really not the part that the draw is the music. I just do the video stuff just to kind of keep it from being the regular background or whatever, the kind of like that. And some of the videos, I use music videos, so like to kind of overdo the copyright, I kind of have to switch the videos up.
Right, exactly.
So I had to like change up the videos, and some of the videos, like I haven't got hit with an 18+ yet.
Nice.
I'll take it. I'm not even gonna complain. I'm gonna take it.
Exactly.
Little people get a little eye candy and a little bit of music at the same time. So guess what? It works.
Right, exactly.
That's the music stuff. Let me see. Let me get one of my. Oh, also that's also what I'm doing with one of my gaming stuff. Speaking of Dead or Alive, I have I played Dead or Alive 5 offline. Like I have it modded, and right. I did this little idea. Speaking of ideas, I mentioned earlier. I have this thing called the DOA Divas Cup, and basically I just took all the women of the Dead or Alive 5 game, and basically made like a little makeshift tournament out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I did it's more like a cinematic tournament. So like there's like I took off the HUD, I took off the HUD and stuff like that. So like to make it look more cinematic and focus more on the fight itself. If that makes sense, and I'm actually gonna share that with you too. And if you want to see any of the this is YouTube stuff. I haven't been on Twitch. I've been focusing more on my YouTube stuff. I am going to be doing Twitch on a regular basis though. Cool. If you want to see my latest Emperor's Court thing, that's a like a little podcast thing I was talking about. That was where I kind of do a little bit of my more social talks a little bit.
Right.
That's a kind of a new thing I came up with. So I was just like, let me go ahead and do it, I guess. Yeah. So that's that. And like I said, if you were to go, I'll give you my full channel so that way you can kind of look at everything, at your leisure.
Sure.
I have like over 700 videos, so take your time.
Will do.
I got like over the course of 12 years, 700 videos. I think we're doing pretty good.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I have playlists and stuff too. So if you need to like have things in a playlist, like I have like the DJ playlist for all like my DJ stuff that I've done. I have like music stuff. Like I even have like music production credits too.
Right.
I created, like, I think I did a beat for somebody that actually they put on their album.
Nice.
So yeah, like I said, I'm kind of out there, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm working on it a little bit.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to get myself up there. I'm actually trying to get my monetization back on YouTube as well, actually.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, I have stuff for days.
Good.
Literally days.
Literally.
Almost. Like you can, like, Netflix ain't got nothing on me right now. If Netflix would have shut down today, you can binge all of my stuff and I think you'll be just fine.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, so what for you, like, do you normally stream on Twitch, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Like regular, like every day, or like
no, not so much. You know, I work full time, so whenever I got like free time, I'll hop on. You know.
What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
Stock supervisor at retail.
Okay, stock supervisor. I was about to ask, like, if you do stocks,
just a manager.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
No. Yeah, just a manager.
Manager of like grocery store or
no,
Walmart?
North Face. Yeah.
What is that?
Like outdoor clothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like, that's right. You're right. That's
shit, you know.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, North Face. I'm like, that name sounded familiar. I just forgot. Like, I couldn't place it in my head. Okay. So like, you're basically like, you say you like stocking manager, make sure everything's stocked up and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up.
That's all.
Like I said, yeah, I'm trying to, like I said, right now I'm in kind of in between jobs. That's why I'm trying to push to make my content a thing. So I also like, I kind of get like gigs here and there. So I'm trying to like I said, I'm trying to get my monetization back on my YouTube so that way I can get money regularly there. I gotta get back into streaming regularly on Twitch so that way I can kind of get subs there too. Yeah, like I said, it's just been a lot of, like I said, a lot of things that I've been kind of like working on. So I've been working on like a lot of things all at once. Like I'm trying to, like, I'm like throwing shit to the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna hit. Damn it! Something's gonna hit. Trying to try to get something, but anywho, but yeah, man. Like I said, I look forward to hearing things, man. Like I said, I don't know if, you know, either way. Like I said, I definitely would like to, you know, take the time to, you know, check you out whenever you get a chance. I don't know if you plan on streaming, if you're gonna stream tonight or not.
Nah, probably not until like Monday. Weekends are usually my off days, you know.
I feel it.
I start from like Friday onward, you know.
I feel that. I totally feel it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, if you got, like I said, any questions for me, like I said, I don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Indeed. I look forward to hearing it. Appreciate you.
Good. All right, you have a good night.
You too, man.
All right, peace.
All right.